Hey everyone, so welcome back. So this is our day 32 of 365 days of coding, and today we gonna calculate the tax price, means how much tax we need to give, okay, when we buy a car. So that's what we basically gonna do here. So let's understand the problem. Before that, if you want to read out this problem, you can pause the video, okay, and give it a good read. So let's see what we understood from this problem. So we have given the cost price of a vehicle and we need to determine the road tax based on the certain criteria. Okay, now what is that criteria? So that criteria is this. Okay, so if cost price is greater than these limits, then we need to pay these many taxes. Okay, now you can pause the video and read out, but so let me explain furthermore. If you see over here, so we have given this one, which means how many test cases we have. Then we have this 2500, which is 25,000. So when the amount is less than, this amount is less than 50,000, right? So how much tax we need to pay? 5%. So 5% of 25,000 is 1250. Okay, and see, we are getting this decimal value, so it's a float. Similarly, here we again have one test case and we give the value, let's say 60,000. Then it is greater than 50,000, so we need to pay 10% tax, right? So here 10% of 60,000 is 6,000. It's again in decimal, and one thing to note here is this we are getting only one decimal value, so we need to round it off to 1 decimal point. Okay, so that's we need to note. Now let's see how we gonna solve this problem. So we will start by reading the cost price of the vehicle. Then we will determine the tax rate based on the cost price ranges, and we will calculate the tax by multiplying cost price to the tax rate. Once this is done, we will finally return our calculated tax. Okay, so let's write our code so it will be much easier for you to understand. Okay, so let's we have wrote our code, so let's see what we are doing here. So first we are taking the cost price from the user, so it will be in float, it can be decimal, right? Then we are passing this cost price value to our calculated tax function here. So you can see that calculated tax, we are passing this cost price, so it will go directly here. What we are doing, we are checking if our cost price is less than 50,000, we need to print 0.5, means 5% tax we need to charge. Else if it is less than 75, then we will charge 10%. If it is less than 1 lakh, then we will charge 15%. And at the end, if let's say the price is greater than this 1 lakh, okay, then we will charge direct 20% tax. Okay, now what we will do, whatever we get from whatever tax rate we get, we will round that. Okay, so how to round that? So for that, what we will do, we will calculate this tax. Okay, so we will multiply our tax rate to our cost price, so we will get our tax. Now we will round it to 1 decimal point. Okay, and we will return this tax, whatever value we get, and then we will print that value. So that's what we are basically doing here. So let's run this and give it this value 25,000. 25,000. It should 1250.0. So 1250.0. So we get that value. Then we need to pass this 60,000 and it will return 6,000. So 60,000. Let's see what we will get. So we get 6,000.0. That's what we are getting over here. Okay, now see guys, here the number of tax cases also given. So if you want to write that way, so you can again use a while loop and take the number of tax cases from the user. So I'm not taking here to save some time. Okay, so you can experiment that way. Now let's see how we can basically optimize the code here. So if you carefully see this code, so we can't do anything in this part, but I can see some repetition of code over here. So if you see, the cost price is repeating, the tax rate is also repeating. Okay, now we can't do anything with the cost price because we need to check, right? So we can't change it, but we can remove this tax rate. Okay, so we can directly calculate this and we can directly return this, so it will save some of our memory which we are utilizing here. Okay, so let's do that thing. So we have wrote our code. So what we did, we keep things same here. The only thing we did is we remove this tax rate variable, and instead of calculating it here at the end, we are directly returning, we are basically calculating the tax. Okay, we are then rounding up it to 1 decimal point and then returning it here only. Okay, so at this point, if a value is less than 50,000, so it will directly charge the 5% tax and return the value. So that's what we are doing it. So let's run this and see what we are getting. So our first value was 25,000. Let's see, we get 1250.0. Second value is 60,000, right? And it will return 6,000.0. Okay, so we have successfully solved this problem. Okay, and now you know how to calculate the road tax for a vehicle. And do not forget to like, comment and subscribe for more Python programming content. See you in the next video.